Damn. What's going on out there in YouTube land? It's your guy Q, the movie collector here again, back with another 4K video review. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about a 1997 comic book adaptation classic. I want to say I don't want to I don't think it was the first, but it's the first of its kind anyway. So let me take you guys back. Back in the day, there was a Todd McFarlane comic book that just kind of took off. And me being a former comic book collector, I never collected this series, but I knew its significance in the comic book realm. So much, in fact, that me, even as like 9 or 10 years old back in the 90s when this came out, I used to stay up late, watch HBO, and this animated series used to come on. I remember thinking to myself, man, this is so much better than Batman. It's much darker. You had Keith David doing the voice of Al Simmons in this show. But anyway, enough of the point. We're talking about Arrow video release of 1997, Spawn. Yeah, so when this movie came out, I mean, it was a spectacle as far as from a special effects ordeal. And I remember seeing the trailer and thinking to myself, man, Michael Jai White is nailing it as Al Simmons. I'll even go as far as to say that someone else in this film, John Leguizamo, nails it as Violator. He is Violator. He embodies Violator. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, he did a better rendition of Violator than he did of Luigi in Super Mario Brothers. But yeah, this movie, man, it's about a spec ops secret agent named Al Simmons. He's hired to go and do all of these missions for a guy, what was his name? Jason Wynn. And Jason Wynn decides to make a deal with the devil because the devil's looking for someone to lead his army. And so they set up Al Simmons, they kill him, and the devil pretty much makes a deal with Al Simmons and tells him, like, hey, would you be willing to lead my army? He said, only if I could see Wanda again. And he's like, okay, done. They agree on it. So then he's sent back to Earth pretty much as, the devil's spawn. And so John Leguizamo, who is basically playing his Violator, and he's like the devil's right-hand man. And excuse me if I'm not getting the characters' names right. I'm not too familiar with the whole universe of characters with Spawn. But so then Violator starts to get a little jealous with it at the same time we're trying to get Al Simmons to embrace his powers. And soon as Al Simmons gets his powers, Violator sitting there setting up for Al to take out Jason Wynn. And so begins as Al Simmons' journey with actually learning his powers and basically trying to strike revenge against those that killed him. But yeah, at the heart of this movie, it's supposed to be kind of like a semi-romantic dynamic between Al Simmons and his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend Wanda. But it don't seem like you get a lot of that in this. You get more of that in the animated series. But this movie, man, it was very. I mean, watching it now, I want to say it's a little bit campy, but I still have those enjoyments of watching this film because I mean it has its comedic moments, and like I said, John Leguizamo, he kills it as Violator. I mean, he is Violator. But yeah, this I would recommend this movie for anyone that's a fan of 1990s superhero movies. And overall, just if you're a fan of comic books or Spawn in general, this is the only live action adaptation we've ever gotten. And it's a good one. It's a good one. I don't think, for me being a fan, I will say that I'm a fan of this movie. Um, I would recommend it for anyone that remembers watching this. So this edition that Arrow put out, you get in the director's cut, which, believe it or not, I've never seen the director's cut. I've only seen the theatrical, and that was when I was a kid. I never owned it on Blu-ray. I never owned it on DVD. I think the closest that I remember owning it was when I was younger. I had the VHS that had like the holographic green eyes on the cover. Um, but that's the only edition that I remember even watching. And Arrow packaged this up with both the director's cut as well as the theatrical cut. And they have a lot of special features with this release. So if you look back here, I'll let you, if you guys can see it. Sorry for my lighting there. If you guys can see it, that's the, if you want to pause and take a read there. But yeah, it comes pretty loaded. On the first disc, you get the director's cut, which you got, let's see here. You got brand new audio commentary with comic book expert and podcast host Dave Baxter. You got audio commentary with Todd McFarlane, Mark A.Z. Dippe, which is the director, Clint Goldman, and Steve Williams. And then you've got this brand new interview with Michael Jai White that's called Hell's Perfect Son. That that featurette was amazing because I learned a lot of things about Michael Jai White during the filming of this movie that I didn't have a clue about. One of the things that he talked about was how hot the suit was to wear, how he became pretty much all sweat under that suit. And that at the end of every shoot that he did, he would stand there, take his boot off, and just dump sweat around in a circle. Um, that's disgusting. But it's things like that you learn about from him when he did this film. And also the other thing that I learned about too was that he talks about at the time period, he was cast to play as Jax in Mortal Kombat. Not sure which Mortal Kombat he was speaking of. I think he may have been talking about Annihilation. Which Annihilation, I guess from way he speaks on it anyway, is that it was supposed to be like a Jax movie, if you will. But the movie changed and they basically told him that, hey, you're doing Spawn. You're not doing Jax anymore, you're doing Spawn. And he was really bummed about that because he didn't know anything about the Spawn character. So then he went to his comic book friend that was a fan of the comic books that educated him about the character, and he used that to apply to him playing as Al Simmons. But yeah, that was a really great special feature. The other one, let's see here, Spawn support, a brand new interview with actors Melinda Clarke and DB Sweeney. That was a really good one as well. Melinda Clarke. I can't talk today. Melinda Clarke is the same woman that played in Return of the Living Dead Part 3. She was also in this film. She played as Martin Sheen's character of Jason Wynn. She played as kind of like his sidekick, if you will. But they talk about their experience in the movie. Then there's The Devil's Details, a brand new interview with animatronic creator and special makeup effects artist Howard Berger and Greg Nicaro, which I want to say they're part of K&B, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really good one too. They really go into detail about the gigantic Violator animatronic that they made and how they were taxed with a deadline of creating and bringing this thing to life. And then you have The Devil's Music, a brand new interview with music supervisor Happy Walters. You got Out of Chaos, a brand new interview with editor Michael Canoe, which that one was funny because he starts off saying that he hated The Crow, City of Angels, because apparently he was the editor of that film and he hates that. That was a good watch too. And then you have, let me see here. There was another one here I'm messing up on. I guess that's part of the whole. No, they talk about that in that featurette. So in the editor thing, and he talks about how the special effects that were presented in the movie, they pretty much had their go at it. Like there was no limitations. This was going to be a spectacle, and they were able to do what they wanted. So that was a good featurette as well. And then plus, you've got a lot of archival stuff in here from the past releases, which I mean, that pretty much takes the cake for this release. You get every past special feature with this, as well as new ones. And then the second disc, you get the theatrical cut. But yeah, I forgot to mention too, Martin Sheen's in this movie. I forgot to mention that. It's not quite as memorable. But one of the special features, I think the both in Michael Jai White and Melinda Clark and DB Sweeney's interviews, they both talked about how they admired Martin Sheen. And Michael Jai White said he actually picked up a lot of things from this movie from him. Basically, he was enamored, or just he loved the fact that Martin Sheen knew everyone's name on set, everyone's name, the crew and everyone. And he said he learned from that he wanted to apply that to movies in the future. So to this day, he does that. But that was a side note. But anyway, let's talk about the transfer. So when this got announced, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that thought about this. We initially think about the special features. Oh, not special features, the special effects. And you know, with movies in the 90s or even older than that, our first thought goes, it's not going to look good in 4K. And I will say, with this transfer, the special effects don't look bad. They look pretty decent in this. Now, do they look like something of current day? No, of course not. But they don't look as dated. I would probably say, and I forgot the devil's name in the movie. I would say his character, it did come off extremely dated. And I want to say, especially during this time period, they even recognize that. You learn about that in the interviews. They knew they were wrong about it. As a matter of fact, they had actually built an animatronic for that character, but they never used it. So, but a lot of the special features, they held up pretty good, surprisingly. But I thought this Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10, I thought it looked fantastic with the highlights and some of the dark shadows in the movie. I thought it looked great. Now it's not going to take home any award for best 4K of the year, but it does its job. And I want to say that for anyone that's just skeptical and thinking that this looks extremely dated, it doesn't. It actually comes off pretty good. There's a lot of fire in this movie, a lot of fire, and I thought the fire sequences looked pretty good. But yeah, the audio. Getting into the audio sounded pretty good. You get a 5.1 DTS master audio. You also got a 2.0 track too. I thought the surrounds in the 5.1 sounded great. They gave you great atmospherics. I just thought that the bass was a little on the weak side, just a little bit, not horrible. I just thought it was a little timid. But overall, the atmospherics with that 5.1 sounded pretty good. But yeah, that is Spawn, and I know I forgot to show you guys this. I already reversed the cover art here, made it the original, and what you get inside of here, you got your two discs. As you can see here, you got your two discs, and let's see what movie that I got. I know a lot of people actually got a lot of different teasers here. I got the Oily Maniac in mind. I didn't get anything super special with this, unfortunately. They give you a poster, the reverse poster. I'm not going to pull this out. And they also give you a book. Let me see here. Yeah, you got a book in here, typical Arrow fashion, as you can see here. You got your nice book there. And let's see here. Let's see what they got in here. There's a lot of excerpts in here. See, Spawn has been restored by Arrow Films and is presented in its original aspect ratio of 1:85:1 and a 5.1 in stereo audio. The director's cut and theatrical cut of the film presented in 4K resolution in HDR10 and Dolby Vision. The original 35mm camera negative was scanned in 4K 16-bit resolution at Warner Brothers Motion Picture Imaging. The film was restored at 4K and color graded at Duplatech. All material sourced for this new master were made available by Warner Brothers. QC review was completed by Pixel Logic. So it doesn't seem like that Arrow had a whole lot of involvement with the restoration of this. Never mind. It says right there, restored by Arrow Film. So, yeah, I mean, they did a fantastic job. They did a fantastic job with this. Like again, like I said, it's not going to win any awards. I thought it was a great transfer. I thought it looked pretty good. But yeah, that's the review. And again, if you guys love my videos or even like them, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. Getting back into the motion of things like I always been saying. So if you like this video and want to see more like this, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys picked this up and what your thoughts are on it. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.